Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft2 video. For this one we are doing a continuation of our Gauntlet style tournaments through the ladder, starting from the bottom as these bots get slowly stronger and stronger. Lucid JS being one of the first bots we've seen to make a very strong composition of Roach Hydra that just really looks like an army that you could easily have trouble with. Having defeated both Noob Game and Queenbot, he will be moving on to face Terran002 today, written by Erduta. And not much of a bio here. We know it's a Python bot, so yes, I don't know much about this bot. We'll just hop right into it and we'll find out together what this bot is capable of. So, oops. And yeah, loading that up. All right, so Terran002, I'm going to assume is a Terran bot, so we're going to be having a ZVT here. Lucid being our only JavaScript author who is currently on the ladder. I believe there's other JavaScript authors, but they haven't produced something for the competitive ladder yet. And this match will be on Death Aura. And spawning in the top left, we have the 2-0 Zerg player. It is Lucid ZJS. In the bottom right, we have the new competitor. It's going to be Terran002. So far I've been casting all these back to back, and I feel like I might have to take a break because my voice is starting to go. Anyways, we do have a depot first. I'm building it on the ramp. Always a good idea versus Zerg. It can be difficult to calculate where the ramp is given the API you use, but I think the Python kind of solves this for you. So if you want to get into the botting scene, I highly suggest using Python. It does have a performance disadvantage. So if you want your bot to be able to play in real time versus human opponents, you're going to have to keep performance in mind as you're developing it. But other than that, it's like basically the best framework to use. Tons of example bots, tons of authors are using it. Really developed framework, does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Good place to start if you're somewhat new to programming, as it has like a lot of very basic sample bots you can look at, and maybe even a small tutorial for how to build a bot that can do A, B, and C. I digress though. We do have Lucid using a very similar opener we've seen in the past, where he goes 15 hatch into gas into spawning pool. The nice thing about going gas before spawning pool is that you can afford your Zergling speed as soon as the pool finishes. But of course, going gas before pool means your pool is later, especially when you open 15 hatch, which can leave you vulnerable to those nasty all-ins. However, it's still not a super greedy build. It's somewhat safe. You build some lings as soon as this pool finishes, you start a queen, you should be fine. If you're super worried, you can even start a spine crawler. Nothing on the production tab coming from Terran here, but he is proxying a double starport. Okay, so this barracks is here for tech only. We do not produce from these things. My type of man. There's every game of StarCraft should have a 4 marine limit, is my theory. And since this build is double starport super gas heavy, why even get the orbital, right? I mean, you could use it for scans, I guess, but you don't need the minerals. So this will be interesting. I assume this is going to be quite cheesy. Would be nice to have like at least a single marine back here. You got the wall, so you want at least to have something to shoot on the other side of the wall. But maybe he does that when the Zerglings arrive, right? Why build the marine before you're getting attacked? If you're not going to get attacked, it's just a waste of 50 minerals. With that said, I don't think minerals are going to be the cap for this build. So he could have afforded the orbital. He could afford to build marines and hellions. And he should certainly be building supply depots. He could even use an extra SCV as, well, I suppose this is his 16th SCV up here. So eventually he'll be fully saturated at home. Just out of interest, I'm going to back up a second, see what happens when starports finish. Yeah, okay, so immediate fusion core. Just double checking that you got the fusion core before the reactors, or before the tech labs, but it turns out he could afford all of it. Fusion core finishes. Meanwhile, Lucid is, well, we know he opens with roaches, right? Layer's on the way now. We know that there are plans for Hydralisk. But are there plans for Hydralisk that are going to come out very soon? Because we have 2 battlecruisers on the way. Well, fairly soon, I would suspect. Obviously, the gas is the limiting factor here. Not getting Yamato cannon, so I think he's going to prefer to get the 2nd battlecruiser before Yamato. And there it goes. 2nd battlecruiser on the way. And yeah, I mean, I guess if this is the plan, I would have gone double gas before barracks. Because you know you're going to be bottlenecked by gas eventually. So if you're not going to produce from your barracks, why get it early? You're not using it for the orbital, you're not using it for marines. It doesn't matter how early your starports are, because the speed of the starports aren't the bottleneck is your gas. So I would start double gas. Then barracks, factory, proxy this stuff, and then go. DSF. Wait, isn't that a programming thing? Deep search function or something like that? Is he doing a recursive call that's caught in an infinite loop? Yeah, so he is producing marines from now that the threat has arrived. He raised the wall, and he's building the marines on the correct side, at least some of them. So I like this reaction out of Lucid. If you're getting attacked by early air units and you have ground units, they can't defend, so just send them to the other side. Warping a battlecruiser home to deal with it, though. So this is kind of too close to call, right? This battlecruiser is going to deal with the roaches. There goes the counterattack threat. Lucid hasn't really had his economy hurt, but he has lost the queens he has produced already. He has lost the roaches. Where are the Hydralisks? We got a couple Evo chambers, a 3rd base. He's got sport 2 of his bases, but none of his natural, the base that these are most likely to go to. And it looks like he's spending most of his money on roaches and lings and sending them to attack the BC. So despite Terran 02 being stuck in what looks like some deep called function, which he looks like he just dug out of, he's going to be in good shape. Because Luce is trying to defend with roaches. I don't think that works. I mean, it's 3 base on 1. We can never call the game over when it's 3 base on 1. Right, he's going to have plenty of time. He can lose 2 bases and still be in this, as long as he doesn't spend all of his money on roaches that are attacking a battlecruiser. Oh no, here they go. Here they go. Okay. Something's happening now. We got some stuff crossing the map. Alright, I was getting ready to call this a second ago, but now all of a sudden it's looking better. It's still 3 base on 1. I'm sure the roaches can run over those 4 marines. And yes, these guys are not getting stuck on the BCs either. So this counterattack is going to get some work done. However, again, smart enough to bring a battlecruiser home. Now it is still only 1 BC, and if these ran in, they went after the SCVs, but they're not going to do that. So all this really did was sacrifice roaches to kill a few marines and to make the attack on his base 1 battlecruiser smaller. Now, he lost his lair, but he did start the Hydralisk Den. And look at the positioning. This is not somewhere that's going to die very early to these battlecruisers. Oh, go, go, go. You gotta go again. You don't want to be here. Oh boy. Yeah, so he's stuck defending with the roaches and lings again. And this is the problem, right? He's not. There's none of the saving up of larvae and resources. So even if he starts making hydras, they're going to be coming out like one at a time. Maybe if he can fight with his queen and his spores, he'll have a chance. We are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BCs. So yeah, it's one base economy, but when that entire economy is spent on battle cruisers, you can still get up to a decent amount. And now it's going to be one base on one base with 5 BCs. So, rip. Terran also has a mineral bank, so it doesn't matter that he's running out of minerals. What matters is that he's not running out of gas, because the gas is what is going to bottleneck his BCs, at least until he runs out of mineral patches. So there's a 6th BC, 7th is on the way. And I would imagine this is far too much for Lucid. Hydros 10 did finish, but no money. Production tab is just trying to rebuild drones. Perhaps if these BCs give some time for Lucid to reestablish his economy, maybe. But the queen, a couple queens and a couple spores, that's not going to do it. Hydra Den will be getting focused in a moment. Nope, the queen's distracted. But I think we're going to speed up this game to 8x. Well done by Terran002. Pulling out the BC rush. Yep, if author is listening, there's one major change I would do. So you went Depot, Barracks, double gas, right? But I mean, maybe if you get 12 pulled, this Barracks becomes handy, because we do know he lifts his wall and we do know he builds Marines up here. But I would actually change this to double gas Barracks, and I think you'll find that will work out way better for you. So this will finish up a little bit later, but notice it finished up now. You can only afford 1 battlecruiser. Instead, you could finish this up 30 seconds later, and when it finishes, you can afford 2 battlecruisers and your autocannon if you go double gas Barracks. I also think you can fit in an orbital. You don't need it, but you can fit it in. Yeah, so congratulations to Terran002 beating the defending King of the Hill, Lucid JS. And with that, we have finished both Lucids, getting a combined total of 3 wins, which is very respectable. And we will continue to move up the ladder. Close this out and bring up the AI Arena chat or chart. So this is the Season 2 ladder, the final positions. And Terran002 will be going up against a name you've probably heard before, Scarlet. So Scarlet has developed a couple bots. This is her second bot. A very cool proof of concept. By drone, you might imagine, well, that it might macro up really large, or it might drone rush. And I'm going to spoil alert, it's going to be the latter. So we'll have a little bit of talking to do before this game starts, because yeah, it does do that. That's true. Because it will be a quick one way or the other. So let's hop right into it. So Terran002 against the drone rushing Scarlet bot. Now, what's very unique about this bot, we've had worker rush bots before. For bots, Protoss is typically the strongest worker rush, because if you imagine perfect micro with your shields, how strong they can be, like always stay just at a range when your shields are down, and then as soon as they rejoin the battle, like that means your original, 10 probes could kill, or 9 probes could kill like 40 SCVs, right? If you have enough space and enough time. I'm not speeding up. But this one uses a drone bot, and the cool thing is it stacks workers. And when we as a human stack workers, like we might stack it in this little pocket here. You spam click this this mineral patch here, and it stacks them all together. And the nice thing about that is when they're stacked together, they can all attack at once. You know, when all the other drones are mineral walking, they can stack, and then when they're stacked, they are all in range to attack. So you can like one-shot a worker. Well, what we're going to see out of Scarlet here is that her bot can stack anywhere on the map. So as they're moving across the map, they'll be clicking on random mineral patches all over the map to like regather them back together, which is pretty cool. You'll see it probably when they encounter the enemy. So we'll see what sort of worker defense we have out of Terran002, who's going double depot. Oh. Did this evil person code a hard counter to Scarlet? Is he going to have a wall up before the drones arrive? Oh, maybe not. Okay. I didn't think he got double depot that early last time. Okay, so here comes the drones. No wall. They're restacking using that ability I was talking about. And I gotta find a target. Here they go. Yeah, so anytime they're not attacking, they're mineral walking, which means they don't have to worry about other drones getting in the way. And there's no worker defense out of 002, so unfortunately for Terran 002, you might be in a lot of trouble. Now, Joan is able to kill my bot too. I coded some worker stacking, but it's not as good as Scarlet's, and I lose the defense. But my command center automatically lifts itself off, and Joan can't handle that. So there might be a situation here where Joan just doesn't have a follow-up plan and could get in trouble here. Because this game is not over, and we got some proxy barracks going up this time. So no proxy battlecruiser. I guess that explains the different opener with the double depot. For a moment, I thought he like hard-coded a response to Joan to just wall off this ramp immediately. And the drones are pretty irrelevant. And ooh, Scarlet Spot's broken. Looks like he's hunting. She's hunting. Is she? No, she's mining. Maybe when she finds more structures, the drones will get on the offense again. But then the question is, why aren't you hunting with all these guys? Okay, they're still functional. They found a SCV, then... Now they're searching again. Stacking up for this SCV. And hopefully this SCV, if you're cheering for Scarlet, will lead him back into the death zone. And now we can kill off these new workers that have arrived again. Yeah, it's a really cool stacking feature. But obviously, this isn't a bot that's meant to play, into the mid and late game. It's best to get the early kill. So once it's done its job... Okay. It's working on the command center now. This is anyone's game. It's hard to tell. It's just like, how developed is this bot? Because this is Scarlet's second bot, right? Her main bot is a 4-gaining Protoss bot. He's right near the very top of the ladder. Does some really advanced techniques and a perfect build order. I think this was more just like a fun side project that she worked on. Okay, no more economy. We do have one Marine, who the drones are ignoring. Uh-oh. Got 11 drones over here. Maybe when these guys pass by the depots? No. I think they're still looking for workers. They're single-minded. They're like, we will only kill SCVs. I mean, there's no more Marines on the... There's one chance for victory, and that's this guy. Drone obviously has the ability to go back home, start mining, build up an army, but I'm like almost 100% sure that's not coded into this bot. What it might be able to do, however, is kill this Marine and force a draw. So I think we can almost guarantee the fact that Drone will not be continuing in this Gauntlet composition, or Gauntlet competition. But will she take Terran 002 down with her? Because if she forces the draw, we're going to just start on the next two bots. If not, Terran's going to be the boy. Which I don't feel bad about either. That proxy battlecruiser rush is cool. This might be interesting as well against a standard Zerg bot. And unfortunately for Scarlet, I think she's out of time. Whoop. Boom. End of game. And there you have it. We will not actually be seeing the other Scarlet bots unless you guys want to tune in for the showcase for the Probots arena. They are doing a style of another Gauntlet style tournament for the top 8. I thought it'd just be kind of fun to do the tournament for everyone else. So I'm going to go up until the top 8. And you can see that this 4-gate bot by Scarlet is in the top 8. So she'll be in the very official tournament, not this ad-lib thing I'm doing. Yeah, so we are at 22 minutes, so I think we'll call at the end of this video. So where did we leave off? We saw Lucid JS losing to Terran 002, who went on to defeat Drone. So starting next week, we'll have a TVZ, maybe see that proxy Marine rush again out of Terran 002 against Baroness Zuli. And I think we're starting to get into more established bots. So if you're looking for more standard play, macro play, maybe some more refined cheeses, we're going to start seeing those. I think once we get up to like the high 40s, you'll notice a very strong difference between that and the games we've seen so far. So something to look forward to. Anyways, with that, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one, and goodbye.